Saw in the last few slides, how the X-ray telescopes work. Here is a picture of a more recently developed observatory which is works in the gamma ray band from about 30 MeV to about 300 GeV. MeV means million electron volt, G means giga electron volt, GeV means 10 to 9 electron volt, and MeV means 10 to 6 electron volt. So this observatory, named after the famous physicist Fermi, is a gamma ray sensitive telescope. What is the principle of this telescope? You have the silicon detectors, strip detector. When a gamma ray comes, it interacts with the silicon material in the strip. It undergoes what is known as a pair production. That is, gamma ray converted. Gamma ray is a quanta which doesn't have charge, and if you want to detect gamma ray, you have to convert it into a charged particle. So it gets converted into electron and positron pair, and electron positron pair, they travel, then they get absorbed in a detector, okay, which is known as a calorimeter, because it measures the total energy deposited in there. So you can measure the arrival direction of the photon and the total energy of the photon for using this detector. So this is one of the finest and most sensitive gamma ray telescope ever flown. Using this telescope, hundreds of new gamma ray sources have been discovered. Particularly exciting discovery is the discovery of large number of gamma ray pulsars which have pulsation periods which are typically few milliseconds to tens of milliseconds. So this instrument has revolutionized the whole field of gamma ray astronomy. Next slide. Now, how does the gamma ray sky looks like? Earlier, I showed you in one of the earlier slide that how does the X-ray sky look like. X-ray sky is dominated by a large number of discrete sources. I showed you distribution about more than 60,000 sources in that. Here is, you can see the gamma ray intensity plotted again in galactic coordinates. That means this is galactic latitude, this is longitude. You can see plane of our galaxy which runs here. It is the equatorial plane. It glows very brightly in gamma rays. You can see that besides diffuse emission, which is there from the center of the galaxy, you have point sources all over. That the colors indicate the intensity of the source. These are the brightest sources, these are fainter sources. So there is a, when this gamma ray map was made, only few hundred gamma ray sources were known at the time, about 400 or so. So you can see that our plane of our galaxy contains large number of gamma ray sources. Most of these are gamma ray pulsars, okay, and the high latitude sources are mostly extragalactic objects. In fact, all of them are extragalactic objects, and majority of them are a particular class of galaxies which are known as BL lake objects. These objects are bright in radio as well as in X-rays and now gamma rays, okay, and many of these sources are so powerful that they can be seen even at trillion electron volt energies using still higher energy telescope which are located on the ground, because they can be observed by the Cherenkov radiation which they produce in our atmosphere, but today we don't have time to go into details of that. The next slide, please. Now, one of the most exciting phenomena discovered in gamma ray bursts happened by chance in 1975 or so, when US launched a series of satellites known as Vela satellites to monitor the enforcement of nuclear test ban treaty. They didn't detect any man-made explosions. However, they discovered very powerful explosions in the universe, and this is what they discovered. They found that suddenly there is a, if you take a gamma ray detector looking at the sky, the count rate is low, okay, and suddenly the count rate or the intensity goes up. It becomes even 1,000 times or even more, and then it dies down. So, and all this happens within seconds. In fact, there are gamma ray bursts which last for less than a second, and the others which last for several hundred seconds. So, an example of a gamma ray burst recently observed, one of the US satellite is known as SWIFT satellite, November 21, 2006. You can see a lot of structure there. They burst initially, it becomes bright and faint and so on, and then it reaches peak and then gradually declines. And all this happens from in second to tens and hundreds of seconds. So several thousand such gamma ray bursts have now been observed. Next slide. Now, the gamma ray burst remained a mystery for a very long time, because one could not identify from which type of sources gamma rays were produced. And this mystery was solved only about 15 years ago, when it became possible to locate the optical counterpart of the gamma ray burst. Okay. Now what happens is that when gamma rays are produced, after some time you start seeing, or immediately you start seeing X-rays and then optical radiation, which results from the same region, but optical glow, or the infrared glow dies down, okay, slowly, sometime immediately, and therefore due to delay in observing the region of the sky where gamma ray burst used to occur, one could not identify them. But now one knows that gamma ray bursts originate in external galaxies, and in fact they are the most powerful explosions in the universe. A gamma ray burst can emit as much energy as 10 raised to power 54 Earths, which is the energy released in the entire supernova. So now, how the gamma ray bursts are produced? We don't exactly understand the exact mechanism, but there are conjectures that gamma ray bursts result when two neutron star merge, or a neutron star and black hole merge, and it gives rise to gamma ray emission, burst of gamma rays, which last only for the duration of the merger. So I will not go into details, but you can see that how the gamma ray burst result. The There is a torus, and then there is a jet which is emitted. Gamma ray burst come out from that, and here you can see the two stars going around each other. Then they are merging, colliding, and then you see the radiation burst coming out from the central region. Next.